It's been a while since I posted last. Today I thought I'd do an about me video of some sort. I kind of just was watching YouTube all day and sitting around and doing nothing, so I thought I'd put something together. Right now it's 3 in the afternoon. Most of the videos I posted so far have been some topic related and some that are just random, and today I thought I'd actually put together something that was half and half. There used to be a tag about the about me out there for a lot of people that are well known. I don't have a big following, and I'm not here to do the following. I'm here for the creative side and doing something for myself. But for the people that do watch, and if I do get more people that watch after a length of time, it'd be good to tell you guys who I am, where I'm from, and a little bit more about myself. My name is Jenny. My full name is Jennifer Michelle Gordon. I am from Ontario, Canada. I've lived in three homemade homes my father built for me. All have been log homes. One was timber frame. I lived in Little Britain, Valencia, and Bowmanville, and now I live in Peterborough. I'm an only child, and I had a really good childhood. I moved quite a bit when I was a kid, so I had a lot of friends, then had struggles with making friends, but that's like any kid now and person that grows up. You lose friends, you make friends, and you find out who your friends are and that type of thing. I went to high school in Bowmanville, and then I went to Durham College in Oshawa, and there I did a journalism program, and then after that I was trying to find work, couldn't find work with what I went to school for, and I decided that I wanted to redirect my career, so I went into dog grooming. Now I'm a certified dog groomer, and I work for a vet here in Peterborough. I love it. I love dogs. I love that I have control over the clients that I have. I love that I have, not that I'm controlling them, but I have control over the type of animals I take in, what my charges are, and that type of thing, what kind of shampoos I can use, all the nitty-gritty parts of it. But no, I love it. It's awesome. And sometimes on the side I do serving, like waitressing. I took on another job at the beginning of the summer doing waitressing for Egan Ridge Resort, and it's an hour away, and it's a resort type of thing, so I do banquet serving there sometimes. It's really nice. It's gorgeous. It's off of Sturgeon Lake. What else can I tell you about myself? It's so weird talking about yourself to to the computer versus when you meet someone and you go, "Hi, nice to meet you. How are you?" Or on the phone or whoever, right? So it's more me talking to myself about myself. But no, it's good. When I was in high school, before I decided to go into journalism, I was quite an art freak. I loved painting, especially painting. I have actually a painting here. I'll show you in a second. I have a painting here that I made myself. I have a few back at my parents' house where lots of my storage is, because where I am living now, my apartment is very tiny. There's not a lot of storage that I can put any of my stuff or my boyfriend's stuff in here, so we live with the necessities. But yeah, so I had lots of sketchbooks. I have sketchbooks here. Actually, there's some beside me, but I haven't done it in a long time. I used to do lots of graphic design. I thought I was going to go into graphic design, but then I realized I wanted art to be a hobby. Speaking of hobbies, in high school I used to be very athletic. I wasn't as big as I am now, but everything changes, and what your personality and what you want out of life changes, so I stopped catering myself to being athletic and trying not to get that perfect athletic body, and more try to make myself happy and do what's best for me mentally and health wise too. But yeah, I used to do volleyball, basketball, field hockey, badminton, and on the side of that, I'd also do 10K bike rides around Bowmanville. And Bowmanville is getting to be a pretty big town, almost city now. It's meshed into the Greater Toronto area. So it's Toronto, Pickering, Ajax, Whitby, Oshawa, Curtis, and then Bowmanville, working your way east. Bowmanville's about 2 hours, depending on the drive and the traffic, out of Toronto. So, and add on another hour going north to Peterborough. So I'm further away, and I like being in the country and where I am now better than when I was in Bowmanville. Back to the hobbies. My very first types of sports that I got into were actually to strengthen my ligaments and my legs. I have very knobby knees. I was so pigeon-toed that I could walk with my toes pointing towards each other when I was just starting to walk. So I started ballet to help tone and strengthen with, and doing physiotherapy on the side. Now I'm not as bad. I can walk straight. My toes face forward now. But I still have bowed knees, and my right hip turns in just a little bit more than my left hip because of that. Plus I'm tall, so double whammied. I have a lot of nerve damage, and I have weak ankles, and I had a growth spurt that was crazy when I was a kid. So all this tied in, I decided to go into soccer after I was done ballet, and after I was done tap, I went into soccer thinking that was going to be good. Turns out I could kick really far and I could do the endurance of it, but it wasn't my sport. My foot-eye coordination wasn't there, so I went on to do something else. And where I was growing up at the time, there was lots of horse farms around me, and I had always loved the farm life. My grandparents had a farm, and I wanted to do something related with that. We didn't have any types of animals that we could do anything with to that extent. We had a dog, and my grandpa had cattle, but then got rid of them, and there's nothing I wanted to do with the cattle anyway. But I decided I wanted to do horseback riding lessons. So I got really good with it. I did a few like stable competitions and a few fairs and stuff like that. But after I don't know how many years, maybe 5 or 6, I started to get into high school, and then homework comes into play, and then your first jobs come in. So then I had to make the decision between, I had to make the decision between working or taking on doing that and trying to make money off of doing horseback riding. And I didn't want to go that route because it was something personally for me to enjoy, not to make it a competition with more people than just my friends that I was doing it with. So I didn't want to do that. Sorry. What else? But yeah, and then same thing with horseback riding, it would conflict with other sports that I started doing in high school too. So there got to be, in my last few years of high school, that I was doing 3 extracurriculars after school, plus my bike ride, that I didn't have a time for everything, because along with doing the sports and homework, I also had my family and other priorities at that time that I was dedicated towards, so I didn't have the time to do everything. So horseback riding kind of got put on the back plate, and then my jobs came into play, and then I went to college, and my program was very competitive, so I geared up for that, and I focused on that for the 2 years that I went through with it. And then I tried to find work with it, and it just wasn't happening. I went to the gym with my mom a couple of times, but then I lost interest in it. And then I went into doing the dog grooming, and I put all my interest towards that. But since then, and I've been a groomer, I have found myself kind of restless. So I want to get back into doing those things, but along with having a job and starting it off, and trying to build my clientele that comes with my type of work, the funds are slowly trickling their way in. So it's just finding those things that make me happy, but I won't break the bank on either, because I still have to eat and I still have to pay for rent and all those fun things of being an adult. But that's kind of getting the Debbie Downer side of it. But that a lot of people do the About Me tag, or when that was popular, to let people know about what they were about. But I think it should also be about who you are now and what you're facing and what's conflicting you and what your hopes and dreams are. So my About Me is about my wishes, my goals, and what I'm struggling with at the moment. So what I'm dreaming of is owning my own house eventually. My boyfriend is a mechanic. He's doing well. He's been at that company for more than 5 years now. I am a groomer. I'm just coming into my own, so it's going to take a little bit longer until we can get that house, but I am also only 22 years old, and I'm renting. I own my own car, so I'm not doing bad, but I've always had that type of mentality that you shoot so far, you forgot that you're only like running instead of like driving. Like my head and my dreams go so fast, and so I reach so far ahead that it's hard to keep up. Like, it's hard to get myself there without the time that it needs to take to get there. And then, so that's what I'm dreaming of. I'm dreaming of joining something like a sport again. I'm thinking about ultimate frisbee or going to the gym again. Once I've established my 3 months probation at my job, I'm gonna look into doing that again. Excuse me. And then I'm thinking right now, because of the type of apartment that we live in, it's a basement apartment, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's got what we need. It's almost like a cave, and I'm in hibernation mode all year round. So it's hard for me to sometimes get out of the house, and I don't mean like I'm depressed or anything. I find my day gets lost from me, and I need to find, I guess, the motivation to go and do something and not be so lazy. That's what I guess it boils down to. But I don't think I'm a lazy person. I just need to get myself back into a routine, because I've been so all over the map ever since I've been out of college, really, of where my direction is going. And it's just getting a hold of, okay, now I got the job, now I need to do something on the side to make myself happy and do something for me again, aside from earning all the time. So I need to do that. I was thinking about getting it back into the painting and stuff, but I don't really have the room to do it here, because like I used to do, I have an art easel that stands up and paints in the fumes, and I don't know if my landlords would appreciate that. So there's that as well. I want the house, the family, and the whole shebang. And then the struggles of getting out of the house, struggles of picking the right things to eat lately, which doesn't help with not getting out of the house. So I talked about how I always had a sport going on, and on the other side of that, I also catered my nutrition to what I was doing at that time. So I know where my nutrition level is and where I need to be and how to get back to that place. It's just, I'm just struggling with that motivation to get there. So I'm looking into doing maybe a new diet or something, not like one of those diets, like something that I know I can handle. I'm looking into what I can do to better myself. I think everyone's always trying to do the next thing that's best for them or try something different. So these videos are something that's different. It's something to get myself out of the comfort zone, especially since I've put on all this weight. I don't appreciate myself in the photos as everyone else does. Like, My boyfriend and I went to a wedding not too long ago, and there was a photographer there, and I love being in photos. I'm not like, I am photogenic, but I'm not like, I don't care if I'm in the picture, but like I hope I look nice and my mouth isn't open or I'm taking half a bite of something. But this photographer was nice, and like he said, we were a very candid couple, which is lovely. But even on my phone, when people were taking pictures of me and him standing outside a building and I wanted a nice picture of us, all I could see on myself is you let yourself go type of idea. And it's not let myself go, I just got too carried away with being in my comfort zone. And I love food, I love all foods. It's not that I'm picky and just, not just picky and eating the bad foods, it's that I'm eating too many, probably the portion size and everything that comes with that. But I know on YouTube there's a lot of channels for diets and health and fitness and how to plan your meal type of thing. So maybe if you guys know some, you could leave them in the comments or tell me what you think, or if I'm just sounding crazy and like the fat lady that lives in the shoe. Except I live in my box size apartment. I wanted to share more. I wanted to share something that wasn't so edited. I will be editing the parts where I pause and I do the types of thing, but that's normal. If you don't want to see that boring stuff in between. So I wanted to make something today. This was it, and I know it's not a whole lot of something, and it might be a little bit mix match and staggered, or I'm mumbling and my sentences are all over the place and my thought train is all over too. But sometimes this is just how people are, and sometimes people have these days, so it's not that different. But yeah, so about me, all you really need to know is I love animals. I strive to be the best person I am and can be. I try to help people to the best knowledge I have. The people that I have in my circle I love dearly and hold very close to me. My dreams and aspirations and inspirations that I hold for myself, I strive for them. I get those goals and I do it. So I know that these things will come. It's just the time that it takes there and the patience that I need to learn to have to get there. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me. If you guys have any questions or anything else that you want to know, or if you want another video that isn't so loosey-goosey type, let me know. Anyways, thanks guys. Bye.